Gemini was not born to go unnoticed. They are a cosmic event compressed into a human form, a storm of sharp minds, quick tongues, and a soul that refuses, absolutely refuses, to be put in a box. You might love them. You might misunderstand them. But I can promise you one thing. You will never, ever feel indifferent towards them. Their energy is a current, and you will feel it. Today, we are doing something different. We are not just listing personality traits. We are uncovering the 20 specific, sacred talents the universe gifted exclusively to Gemini. This is the code that explains their brilliance, their charm, and yes, even their beautiful chaos. And I'll tell you right now, one of these talents, the one at number 2, it is their secret weapon. It's the one that once you understand it will leave you speechless. My name is Anya Sage, and as a psychological astrologer, I don't just read star charts, I decode human blueprints. And today, we are pulling the master file on one of the most intricate and brilliant designs in the entire zodiac. To truly understand the masterpiece that is Gemini, we have to start with the foundation, the very architecture of their soul. It rests on 3 unshakable pillars, gifts from their nature as an air sign. Forget everything else for a moment and focus on these. The first pillar, their 20th talent, is masterful communication. This isn't just about being a good talker. For a Gemini, language is a form of magic. It flows from a place deeper than the mind. Have you ever been lost in your own feelings, tangled in a mess of anxiety or confusion? And then you talk to a Gemini? They listen, and then they hand you back your own thoughts, but organized, clear. They translate the chaos of your heart into a language your mind can understand. They give your feelings a name and a shape, and in doing so, they give you a map out of the dark. That is their gift. Their voice can be a source of profound comfort, razor-sharp guidance, and genuine transformation. Then comes the second pillar, talent number 19, supreme adaptability. In a world that is constantly changing, a world that breaks so many people, the Gemini dances. When the ground shifts beneath their feet, they don't panic. A part of them comes alive. I once knew a Gemini who, after losing a job, decided to move to a city where she knew no one. For many, that would be a nightmare. For her, it was a blank canvas. Within a month, she wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. She befriended the barista at a corner cafe who introduced her to a local musician. She joined a pottery class on a whim and discovered a hidden passion. She saw every stranger as a potential story, every closed door as a redirection. They don't just endure chaos, they see it as a field of pure possibility. This isn't just resilience, it's a form of spiritual flow. And the third pillar, the engine that drives the other 2, is talent number 18, the eternal explorer. A fire of insatiable curiosity burns in the Gemini soul. They need to know, not just the what, but the why, and the what if, and the how does that connect to this. This is not a superficial need for trivia. It's a soul-deep hunger to map the world, to connect the dots that no one else sees. A Gemini can watch a documentary about ancient Rome, see a particular type of ship, and fall into a 3-day rabbit hole. They'll emerge with a startlingly complete knowledge of 17th century naval trade routes, not because they had to, but because their soul demanded they follow the thread. Every question they ask, every fact they gather, is another piece of a grand, cosmic puzzle they are joyfully assembling for their entire lives. These are the three pillars: the communicator, the adapter, and the explorer. If you're a Gemini, I'm genuinely curious. Which of these core energies defines you the most? Let me know your experiences in the comments below. I'll be reading. Now, with this foundation in place, let's look at what happens when a Gemini walks into a room. Their internal architecture creates an external magic that is impossible to ignore. Talent number 13 is sociability. They are weavers of people. They don't just talk at you. They build a bridge directly to you, making a complete stranger feel like a long-lost friend in under 5 minutes. They are masters of the meaningful conversation, pulling people out of their quiet corners and into a shared experience. This is powered by talent number 7, their irresistible charm. And let's be clear, this isn't the rehearsed, slick charm of a salesman. It's a radical authenticity. They look you in the eye, they truly listen, and their genuine interest in who you are creates a space of psychological safety. People open up to them because their charm is a signal that says you are welcome here, exactly as you are, and they wield this charm with talent number 15, a healing sense of humor. A Gemini's wit is a scalpel. They see the absurdity in life, the irony in pain, and they don't use laughter to dismiss feelings, but to make them bearable. In a room thick with tension, a well-placed, intelligent joke from a Gemini is like opening a window. It's a sacred medicine that reminds everyone to breathe. They use humor to connect hearts and lighten the heaviest of loads. But if you think that Gemini is all social sparkle, quick wit, and intellectual acrobatics, you are missing the most profound part of their blueprint. You're seeing the glittering surface of the ocean, but you have no idea of the depth beneath. This is the side of Gemini that will surprise you. Their quiet, hidden power. This is talent number 6, deep empathy. It's so often overlooked because their mind moves so fast. People assume their heart is left behind. It's not true. I've seen it time and time again. A Gemini is a hypersensitive instrument. They are attuned to the unspoken. They will notice the fractional hesitation in your voice. They will see that your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes. They feel the subtle shift in a room's energy when a new person walks in. And when you are in pain, they may not always have the flowery emotional language, but they will offer something more powerful: their steady, non-judgmental presence. They hold space for your feelings without trying to fix them. And in that space, you feel seen in a way that is profoundly healing. And this empathy fuels their 4th talent, soulful eloquence. This goes beyond communication. This is channeling. A Gemini at their best is a translator between minds, between worlds. They can take a complex intellectual idea and dress it in language that makes your soul vibrate. They can take a deep, universal feeling and find the exact words that you've been searching for your whole life. They can shape silence into a statement and speak truth with a color, a poetry that doesn't just inform you, it awakens something within you. And now, with the heart understood, we can finally ascend to the mind. We have arrived at the apex, the most potent, world-altering talents in the Gemini arsenal. This is what makes them truly unstoppable. We begin with talent number 3, God-tier problem solving. In a crisis, when most people's minds freeze or panic, the Gemini mind ignites. It's like a supernova of connections. They see the situation not as a single terrifying event, but as a system of moving parts. Brain immediately starts running simulations, finding hidden patterns, and innovating solutions with an almost supernatural clarity. They do not believe in dead ends. For a Gemini, a dead end is not a wall. It's an invitation to find a new door. Or better yet, to build one. And that leads us to the one I promised you, the secret weapon. Talent number 2, flexibility in thinking. This sounds simple. It is the furthest thing from it. Most minds, even brilliant ones, are like walls. They are built brick by brick, with beliefs, experiences, and education. They are strong, structured, and impressive. But a wall, by its very nature, is rigid. When faced with a force it cannot withstand, it cracks, it breaks. It defends a single position until it collapses. The Gemini mind is not a wall, it is a river. A river doesn't have a fixed position. Its power is in its movement. It flows around boulders. It finds the path of least resistance. It can be gentle enough to caress a stone or powerful enough to carve a canyon. It holds the reflection of the sky precisely because it is open. This is Gemini's power. They are not attached to their beliefs. They are fascinated by paradox. They can genuinely argue one side of an issue, and then 5 minutes later, argue the opposite side with equal passion. Not because they are disloyal, but because their mind is capable of visiting both perspectives fully. This is not just open-mindedness. It is a constant, fluid state of intellectual evolution. It makes them almost impossible to trap and infinitely capable of finding the truth. We have arrived at the final talent, the number 1 gift the universe gave to Gemini. We have seen their mastery of language, their social grace, their secret empathy, their God-tier intellect. What could possibly be number 1? What is the highest form of wisdom? Many would say it's the discipline of a Capricorn, or the piercing depth of a Scorpio, or the fiery vision of an Aries. All noble, all powerful, all heavy. The ultimate talent of Gemini, the highest wisdom they possess, is playfulness. Don't mistake this for immaturity. This is enlightenment in disguise. After all the thinking, all the talking, all the adapting and feeling, the Gemini arrives at the ultimate cosmic truth. Life is far too mysterious, far too chaotic, and far too short to be taken so seriously. Their playfulness is a spiritual lifeline. It is the mischief in their eye, the love of a good prank, the ability to find joy and delight in the mundane. It is the wisdom that understands that laughter is a form of prayer, and that joy is not a luxury, but an act of rebellion in a world that demands we be serious. They are here to bring lightness, to poke holes in our self-importance, and to remind us all that the point of the game is the joy of playing it. From masterful communication to soulful eloquence, from supreme adaptability to the ultimate wisdom of play, the 20 talents of Gemini are not separate skills. They are notes in a single, complex, beautiful symphony. They are the communicators, the innovators, the connectors, and the joyful jesters of the zodiac. Here to remind us that our greatest strength is not in being one thing, but in embracing all the magnificent, contradictory selves that live within us. If this resonated with you, or if you finally understand that Gemini in your life, show some love by hitting that like button. And to make sure you don't miss our next deep dive, hit subscribe. Your energy truly fuels this channel. Content like this can be sensitive, so I'd recommend saving this video to your own library, just in case you'll want to come back to this blueprint.